Hey, what's up you guys? Today I want to cover just a little bit of gear that I am packing for my current trip to Yellowstone. And as far as gear goes, I am gonna just stick to clothing items in this video. The next video I put out will be camera gear and that type of stuff, but I figure this can be a monumental task in and of itself, so I would keep it simple. Going to be switching back and forth from being in front of the camera to showing you guys stuff. It's pretty straightforward packing, we've all done it, but a couple different considerations to keep in mind, especially with a trip like this. There are some pros and cons. Pros such as I'm driving a car, so I have more room. Also, there's a washer and dryer in the cabin I rented. Cons, the temperature is supposed to range from 12 below to 41 above, so there's going to be a range of conditions, and I don't really have my schedule completely ironed out yet, so want to make sure I pack enough and also at the same time don't overpack to the point where it's a hindrance or just plain annoying. So when I'm packing, I usually start just in my mind from the ground up, that way I don't forget anything. So let me switch over here. So when I pack, I sometimes use packing cubes. It's easier, especially if you're digging for something. You know where to find things. I often have socks disappear. I'm really good at losing them. So starting from the bottom, these are all my socks. I like to have like knee-high socks for a hike, anything like that. Just helps protect another barrier against the wind. So I have liners, knee-high socks, obviously no cotton socks, but a lot of wool and synthetic, and I took the days I was going to be gone and essentially doubled them because nobody wants to have wet socks and they don't take up much room, so I figured the more the merrier with these suckers. Alright, keeping with the theme of moving up, after socks I usually pack underwear. I don't have any groundbreaking information on underwear. I don't have any special mountaineering underwear, some that would be relatively impractical, so I won't be bringing those, but grab a handful of them, usually throw them in a clear like gallon Ziploc bag. That is an old habit just from flying, because I know if you put something in a plastic bag and TSA can go through it without opening it, they will do that. So in order to not have people rifling through my underwear, I generally do that. Just a sort of a habit. The other underwear stuff is none of your business, so that's between me and my plastic bag. But moving on from there, I don't like jeans. I generally never wear jeans. I'm usually in some sort of pants like I have on now, pants that are super light and comfy. They're made by a company called Salewa, and generally get these from places like Moose Jaw or Sierra Trading Post. I will link my favorite sites down below for you guys to reference. I took my base layer tights and just folded them up and put them in another packing cube, but what I have in here are just 4 pairs of thicker warm tights that I like to wear under shell pants. I do have 1 pair of fleece line tights from Lululemon. I love them, they go everywhere with me. I know that some brands like Lulu are expensive, but if you look at their policy on stuff like that, if you spend $150 on a pair of tights, they will always replace them for you for, I think, as long as you want. So I know I've brought tights into Lulu, no receipt, no nothing. A year later, you know, the crotch ripped out or whatever, and they'll either give you a brand new pair if they have them in stock, or they will give you the full monetary value towards another pair in the store. So I really like that. Their stuff does wear out. I'm hard on it, especially wearing them to Krav or grappling. Wear them out pretty quick, but they're really good with replacing them. So I have 3 pairs of regular tights and 1 pair of fleece line tights. I think that should suffice. And then I brought 3 pairs of shell pants, 2 that are more like snow pants. These are made by, I think these are Mammut. They're a little bit thinner than these guys. These are fleece lines and have adjustable bottoms, everything like that for whatever I'm doing. And then I brought thin waterproof shell from a company called Fjellraven. And again, these pants are awesome. They're some of my favorites. They'll last a lifetime, and that's good because they're like $200 for a new pair, but I feel like that should do the trick as far as shell pants go. Then regular pants, again, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. It's not going to be going to dinner, but probably bring the ones that I'm wearing from Salewa. And I just have a pair of Prana kind of stretchy pants that are comfy. And my favorite pants from La Sportiva. And we should be good to go on the pants front. Alrighty, and the remainder of my packing cubes, I just have t-shirts. And this one has just sports bras, nothing fancy, just stuff that's going to be comfortable. And then I packed 3 long sleeve t-shirts. Can't go wrong with those. If I get them dirty, I can wash them. I generally end up not wearing them, but I also get pissed when I look for one and I didn't pack it. So as I keep going through this too, you'll see stuff start to disappear. I'm just going to put everything into my Yeti duffel bag. That thing is pretty durable. I like to travel with it in the car. Don't necessarily like to fly with it. It's also not hard-sided, so if you have anything in there that can be smashed, I would just kind of operate under the assumption that it will get smashed. Okay, still working our way up because I did rent a cabin. I'm not going to be sleeping in the car or outside. I packed a couple pairs of just cozy pants, and after a day of freezing your ass off or walking around in wet socks or whatever, it's always nice to have warm fuzzy stuff to cuddle up in. So got just a pair of Patagonia base layer pants and these North Face fleece pants, which I'm obsessed with. They kind of look like clown pants, but I don't really give a shit because they're super comfy. So these will just be for kicking around at night and being comfy. Sticking with our theme of moving upwards to a little more important stuff right now. These are base layer tops. I don't have a warm big ass jacket or whatever. I'm much more a fan of layering. I find that works pretty well for me. I'm either hot or freezing, but in a perpetual attempt to actually be comfortable, I prefer layers. I feel like I can do a lot more with them. This last trip to Iceland was in the dead of winter. I layered and it worked out pretty darn well. The only thing that got really cold were my hands when I was shooting photos. So as far as base layers, I have wool shirt from Patagonia. Those things last forever. I still have some stuff from high school from them. I also really like these long sleeve shirts from Lululemon. They are long in the torso, like me, so they're not going to ride up. And they also have thumb holes, which is great as far as wind goes, or your sleeves, you know, shrinking up your arm and being a pain in the ass trying to stay warm. So I really like these. I don't know, I was thinking, I bought one in white. I would suggest don't buying one in white. In the name of not overpacking, I'm just going to bring those 4. If I end up needing more, I'll let you know and make a note of it for next time, but I think that should suffice for the time being. And now for the good stuff. Over the base layers, these are the jackets I am going to bring. Mostly these are, this is North Face down. This is a different North Face with a hood. It's got fleece on the inside too, so it's windproof and it's comfy. It makes a perfect mid-layer. If it's going to be a little bit colder, I'm prone to being cold as hell, so I do like to bring just a down shirt like this from Patagonia. And the 2 hybrids that I have that I absolutely love and have served me very well are this Ventrix from North Face. It's stretchy, it's got the thumb holes, it's windproof, it's warm, and it also has fleece on the inside. So it's just a great all-around jacket. Material that I feel like if you ran into something like a tree, it would snag it and rip it. But if I haven't ruined it yet, that speaks volumes for how durable it is, because I have a knack for ruining shit. I also have a similar jacket. This one is Arc'teryx, but super warm, windproof. It's got fleece on the inside. It's super comfy. I'd actually ordered both of these at the same time a while back, and I only intended on keeping one, but I kind of fell in love with them for different reasons, and they're kind of nice to just be able to switch out and not wear the same mid-layer every day. I'll switch out, but yeah, ended up keeping both. I absolutely love both. And then for the one shell I'm bringing, I'm not a huge fan of shells, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why they get so expensive. I know I love Arc'teryx, but I can't ever bring myself to buy like a $600 shell. I just don't understand that. This one is from Patagonia, windproof, waterproof, not lined, nothing on the inside, so it's not inherently comfy, but nothing gets through this sucker. And it does fold up into its own little pocket, so it's super light and it doesn't take much room. So rationale one is that I am over 5'8". I'm tall and kind of lanky, and women's stuff, I don't know why, I don't like it, but it tends to fit a little bit cuter and shorter. They tend to run shorter in the torso and in the sleeves, and I have long arms, so going with the men's is that they will be longer in the arms and longer in the torso. And women's stuff too, it just tends to kind of flare out at the hips, and I don't have any hips, and I don't need my stuff to flare out because that defeats the purpose of using it for technical purposes. I get it if you're like running errands and want to look cute in your jacket. Generally not my concern. So buying men's stuff, it just tends to fit me and my lanky ass quite a bit better than women's. And the other reason I've sort of gravitated towards buying men's is because I used to live right next door to an REI, and if you have been to an REI and have been in their sale racks at all ever, not a lot of dudes buy extra small and small in men's, so there tends to be an abundance of cool shit available on REI sale racks or during their yearly clearances or whatever. You can find a lot of cool gear in a men's extra small, so that's just the cheapskate part of me capitalizing on a size that dudes don't, I would guess, don't buy as often as, you know, mediums and larges or whatever. So that has also served me well. Even with sites such as Sierra Trading Post, I have pretty good luck finding dude stuff, filtering it by small and extra small. And guy stuff too tends to be a little bit more similar as far as sizing goes. So I know that if I buy a dude's extra small or small, it's probably gonna fit. Whereas a women's small, like with Patagonia, they're pretty clear if you look on their site whether something is a slim fit or whatnot. I'll always have to size up if it is a slim fit. I even do that with men's. But as far as consistency goes, dudes extra small, generally it's gonna fit and works pretty well. And if you can get it for cheap, I say go for it. All right, next on the list are accessories. Now, you can have all the warm clothing in the world, but if you don't have the right accessories or you have garbage accessories, this is gonna make or break your day, your shoot, your ride, whatever you're doing. So I tend to pay pretty close attention to things like this. So I'm gonna cover what I bring, and again, I mean, this is personal preference and pretty well contingent on what you're going to be doing. So if you know me or you see me right now, I'm generally in a hoodie and a hat. You didn't see me pack any hoodies because I question their utility as far as being really, really warm in winter conditions. They're heavy, they're bulky, they take a lot of space to pack, and I usually do not wear them as a layer, so no hoodies for this time. Probably pack one in my bag for the car in the hotel just to be comfy, but as far as having any others, I leave them at home.